Have you ever felt that the week before your race, you're actually feeling really sluggish and really tired? Because I've had this problem multiple times, and that's why I've broken this video into 5 quite easy steps on how I have my perfect taper week. So I want to start off by saying that this is not going to be the optimal routine for everyone, and it probably isn't even the perfect routine for me. I'm not a professional and I'm not a coach or anything like that, but this is what I'm doing to have the best taper week I can for my Ironman. So starting from the most obvious, point number 1, we're going to want to do less sessions, and that probably sounds really obvious, but there's going to be more to it than just doing less. So every taper I've done so far up to this point, I've always felt really sluggish going into it, and I've always sort of in my head started convincing myself I've had injuries. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. So a lot of those things are going to be mental, but a lot of these things we can also help by just doing some sessions that are still at a faster pace. So in my taper week, nothing's going to be max out. I'm not going to be trying to build up any fatigue, but I've just gone for a run today, and that was at race pace. So it was only half an hour, and it didn't feel too tiring or anything like that, but it's good to get the legs moving at that pace. What I'm trying to do with these sessions is just keep adding in those little bits at race pace or at a faster pace than race pace even, just to make sure you keep that body moving. So I did a swim at the start of the week that had 200 meters and a 400 meter effort, both at race pace. I did a cycle, and that had 2 lots of 5 kilometers at race pace, so nothing too difficult that's going to tire you out. And then again, obviously the run today I did was, once again, I just had a couple of little bits at race pace just to make sure you keep that fitness ticking along, but also keep the legs moving. Step number 2 is my beetroot juice. I like to take beetroot juice the whole week during or leading up to the race, and I'll usually start with one of these just because it's a little bit easier to drink, it's a little bit nicer. So I've had this for the last 4 days, and then going on to the day before the race and the actual race day, just because I think they're a little bit more effective and they definitely have the right amount that I need in of the nitrates. And I've tried them before and they worked for me, so it's one of those ones where a lot of the research say that it won't work for everyone potentially. So it's one of those things you're going to want to test out in training. You don't want to just chuck it in on race day, but this is something on my race day checklist for the last couple of races I've done. So step number 3 for me, which is going to be another really important one, is sleep. So I've been trying out a sleep mask recently. It's a blackout one. I also tried the mouth tape. I don't know if I got much benefit from either of those, but I'm going to make another video about them soon potentially, so stay tuned for that. But the main thing with sleep is just to make sure you're getting as much rest as you can, and obviously you're going to want to be recovering from those hard couple of weeks you've had before. So yeah, as much sleep as possible. And you've also got to remember that on the night before the race, you're probably not going to get the best sleep of your life. You're probably going to be up early as well, and you're going to be really nervous, so you're going to struggle to sleep. So that couple days before are going to be really important in terms of sleep. Step number 4, which is probably one of the most exciting ones for me, is the carb load. So probably shouldn't be an excuse to just eat whatever you want, but for me it definitely is. I'm just going to eat as many carbs as I want, as many sweet treats. I've just bought these brownie flavoured street waffles, really excited to try them. A lot of pasta, and yeah, just all of the carbs I'm going to be having this week. So obviously this is quite an important one, because you're going to need to build up that extra carbs for the amount of stuff you're going to be burning on the actual race day. But yeah, I like to have a little bit of fun with this one and enjoy some good meals. So step number 5, which I think is probably the most important step of all of them, and you could say it potentially contradicts the other ones slightly. So obviously I talked about all these different things I'm changing in my routine to try and get the most benefits and feel the best I possibly can on race day. But step number 5 is actually going to be to try and keep your routine as similar as possible. So if you try and dial back the training too much, if you do nothing, for example, you're going to be feeling so sluggish on race day. Might even lose a little bit of fitness depending on how early you started your taper, and yeah, you're just not going to be feeling good. And then once again, going back to those sort of mental injuries, I guess we're going to call them, where you tell yourself you're getting some weird little niggles in your foot, or you're just feeling really tired during the week. That's partly going to be to do with having taken so much time off and switching your routine so much. Another thing with switching your routine is, for example, if you have coffee or something like that, I've heard a lot of people say, okay, you should have a little deload on the caffeine the week before, and you'll just feel it so much more on race day, and it will get you so many more benefits. But for that one, I'm not a massive fan of that technique. I think changing your routine too much, things like caffeine, if you stop taking the caffeine, there's a good chance you're going to get headaches and stuff like that. So I just think with the amount of things that are going to be changing already, you want to try and stick the rest of your daily life as similar as possible. Okay, so those are my 5 tips for training for an Ironman 70.3, or I guess it would work for an Ironman as well. So obviously this is my first YouTube video, so not really sure what I'm doing too much, but if you have any comments on what I should do next time, I'm thinking about posting again a little bit of a documentary style thing on my race. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this, if you found anything useful from this video, and stay tuned for next week.